Hello and good morning. Welcome to the Virtual Racers Club. Here we are for another brand new series, and one that has happened recently, and so far I think I'm going to start getting on top of these a bit more now. So we've missed quite a few seasons in which it will take me forever and 30 days to try and catch up, so I thought, well, why not just start afresh, and then hopefully we'll keep on top of things. But yes, we are here at the home of Tifosi. We are at Monza for round one of the British GT3 Championship. Now, what is the British GT3 Championship, you may ask yourself? Well, be curious no more, because the British GT3 Championship is following a similar format to the US GT3 Championship we had a while ago. But this time there is a small change, as we will see the three British manufacturers go head to head against one another for 5 rounds in a European season, with a Drivers' Championship and possibly a Manufacturers' Championship to compete for. The British GT Championship is scheduled to be a 5-round championship spread over 7 weeks, and there will be a 2-week gap in the period where other duties will be held. So for this championship we have available the Aston Martin Vantage GT3, the Jaguar F-Type GT3 and the McLaren 650S GT3. I've had quite a few sign up for it, and a very unusual ruling for this is the races are randomized, so there is no telling which track they're going to have each week. That puts a very big dilemma into the whole things, because you won't be able to practice. You literally have to do it as it comes. Very interesting twist. So for the first round they drew Monza, so here we are. Ooh, I'm gonna drop my phone. So who do we have lined up for it? Well, representing Aston Martin, we have Madalinsky, who I don't think was able to turn up for this round, so hopefully he'll turn up. Representing Jaguar, we have Scary Rambo, who also couldn't make it this round. Spunkmeyer and Jokers, but I don't think he was able to make it either. And then there was the popular favourite of McLaren, which sees Pat, Koikarp, Big Dan, Electric and Skyjacker taken to it. So I think we all have a particular one that everybody seems to be going for. And how the rounds will work is they will have a 10-minute qualifying. They will then have 2 30-minute feature races, with the first one being a standing start, and the full start check will be on, so they'll need to be keeping an eye on that. Then for race 2, again, it will be another 30 minutes, in which it will be the race 1 results in reverse order and a rolling start. The point system is our VRC National, so it starts at 20, goes to 17, then 15, 13, 11, 10, all the way down to 1. You get 2 points for pole position, you get 1 point for fastest lap, and the drop score is 1 round. Let's have a flick through and see what else there should be. Let's have a nosy. Oh, there we go. There we have a tyre roll now. That's what I was looking for. So for the tyres, only the Racing Softs and Racing Medium tyres are available in this season, unless the random weather on the track where rain is possible decides to make it rain. Then both are required in each race. Okay. Oh yeah, I get it. Yeah, so basically you use the softs and the mediums. The use of intermediates or wet by a driver will count as a second compound for them, but only if it rains during the race. If a wet start requires either, then only one dry tyre type would be required afterwards. If the race remains dry throughout and cannot be rain affected, then both compounds are to be used for a minimum of 10 minutes. Time spent in the pit lane either before tyres are changed or after new tyres are fitted is not included in this time. A time penalty equal to the length of a tyre-only pit stop will be added to the race time of the 10-minute minimum is not reached. Equal to the length of a tyre-only pit... Well, I'm sure it will come to me eventually, but no matter. So, there we go. So there are softs and mediums, so my guess is that they can use them at any other given time. And the wets apparently account towards it as well, but I don't think we have to worry about the wets because look at that beautiful, beautiful weather, and they're all packed in the stands for us. So, pardon me for a second. Oh, there we go. So, after 10 minutes, this is how qualifying ended up. Dramatic drum roll, please. Thank you. And there we go. And on pole, taking first blood, is the McLaren of Electric. And going for a chrome-coloured McLaren. That's definitely giving McLaren F1 vibes if I do see it. But he's thrown in a little bit of the good old Irish colours on there. Look at that. He's got a bit of green and a bit of orange. Lovely Irish colours on there. Of course, Electric being our only Irish driver who's even got a Norris helmet on, so he's going full McLaren for this one. Love to see it. So Electric on pole. In second, we have our one and only Big Dan. He's also in a McLaren. So McLaren looking strong, early days already. And I have to say, even though it's very basic, I absolutely love... What? Oh, yeah. That black strip there is part of the bumper. For some reason, I thought that was an N. It looks like an N from this side. I do apologise. But, yes, look at that. Absolutely beautiful work. It may be simple, but you know me. I love a good, simple livery. Big Dan taking second. In third with another chrome McLaren of Koikart. Now, if Electrics didn't give away some McLaren vibes, this one most certainly will. The old classic McLaren F1 livery. Oh, he's thrown a little bit. Thrown a... Looks like the Lando Norris style helmet on there as well. Adding his own little thing. Oh, he's even got a license plate. He's adding his own license plate. Should I look that up? Koi, I bet that's your car, isn't it? I bet that's your car. I bet my wages and a steak dinner, that is your car. Never advertise your real car, sir. Never. I could be wrong, I don't know. But that's what I'm putting my money on. But, yes, the old McLaren F1 style rivalry for Koikap in third. In fourth, it's Spunkmeyer. And he's gone for the Jaguar. And now that's beautiful looking Matchbox Jaguar. Is this an old style livery? Is this like a replica of something? Because it's very nice. If it isn't, it's still cracking good work. Don't get me wrong there. But yes, absolutely loving that to the core. Beautifully well done. So Spunkmeyer in his first series for us in VRC as well. We've seen him going strong in the 2.5 that we recently had last week. That's what I'm trying to remember. Brain's not working. Brain non-function. So hopefully we'll see some cracking stuff from Spunkmeyer in his first series with us. He's got a plain helmet on as well. That's a face hugger back there. That's a face hugger, isn't it? That looks like a face hugger. I can't quite see very well. It's definitely got the legs for it. Those things creep me out. Ugh. But, yes, getting distracted. Spunkmeyer in 4th. And in 5th, we have not Coy, it is Pat. That's the words I'm looking for. Pat's going for a green livery. Oh, he's got Lando Norris back on there as well. As we know, Pat is a big fan of Lando Norris, looking very pale, very, very bland. Not quite sure what to make of this one. Going quite a blandish one. Or that, or maybe he was just in a rush to get it out in the paint shop because he thought he had more time, but it turns out he didn't. So, well, that's an interesting one. It's a nice livery helmet you got there, lad. Very nice. But yes, maybe he didn't have time to fully paint it, so we thought, nah, we'll take it out as it is. It's fine, it's coloured, everything else is there. Why not? Hands off the green. Actually, to be fair, that's more of Lando's green, isn't it? Mine's more grassy colour. But yes, anyway, there we go. I'm getting heavily distracted here. So, as they all aim for the infamous turn 1 of Monza, is it going to be carnage? Will there be chaos? Shall we find out? I reckon so. In fact, before I go any further, I better double check that everything is working. You're not going to work, are you now? Oh, no, yep, there we go. It is working now. Yay, it is working. I know technology. Technology. Right. Let's get these on. Let's turn that on. Turn that off. And I think we are ready to go. So, as we kick off for the 5 lights, and Electric's jumped the start. That's not a good start at all. So we're going to see Big Dan leading them all off with Coy in second and everybody all jumping up, and Electric has got all the work to do after jumping the start. Not the start he wants, and Spunkmeyer's jumped into the lead, already going into turn 1, and we're all surviving. Ooh, he's a bit squiggly on the way out, but he's still collected it up, but that's going to be enough for Koikart to come through onto the inside, as we now head down to the first set of chicanes as they go through side by side, and I don't have a track map, so I don't know the name of the corners again, but it looks like that the Jaguar just has the better speed. Oh, he's had to go over it, and then he's going to get reset. That's not another good start. But now they're all crowding out behind Coys. They're going to go 3 wide. Ooh, easy chaps, but Electric's scoring his way through. How about that for a comeback? The jump in the start, he's managed to work his way through, and he's already back up front with Pat in second. Coy now down in third with Dan in 4th, taking his time, and Spunkmeyer dropping to 5th. You know what? I haven't even checked the tyres yet. So Electric has gone soft. Pat's going mediums, early doors. Coy's gone for the soft. Big Dan's gone the mediums, and Spunkmeyer's on the softs. So we're going to have a completely different looking race 2, and Electric was just a little bit squiggly on the way out. He's managed to recover it, but that means that it's opened the door for Pat to come down to the long right-hander. And who's going to come out on top of this one with Electric on the inside? Pat has to go round the outside, but he's taking his brave pill this morning and is able to keep it on the outside. Electric sneaking in onto the inside. He's going to have a good toe coming down to the first corner, but as we know, that is where the chaos happens. Getting the toe is down, pull the trigger, is going on the inside. Is it going to be tears? Is it going to be triumph? And yes, we've all gotten through. Well, beautifully done. Oh no, Pat's he's lost the back end. He has lost the back end. He's going to tumble down. He's going to be left high and dry. So Electric now can breathe a sigh of relief. But now he's got the Big Dan himself chasing him down. New multi-series winner and champion, absolutely showing what he is capable of. This man is a big threat. Well, if you look behind him as well, we've got Spunkmeyer and Koikart now battling it out as we go through the double right-hander. And I really need a track map, because I do know the names, but for some reason brain no function and I can't think of what they are. Will probably hit me in a minute, you watch. But it looks like Big Dan struggling with those mediums, because he's now getting caught up by the two soft runners behind him of Spunkmeyer and Coy. And Electric is now starting to run away with it. He's feeling a lot of the pressure lifting from him. You can see the tyres struggling for grip. Spunkmeyer is just looking for a gap that he can fit that Jaguar through, but now Coy's going to have a look as well. Pat is nowhere to be seen. He just can't quite do it, so Coy has managed to get the move on Spunkmeyer. Now he's having a look on Big Dan as they come through the final corner. Easy does it, gents. It's McLaren versus Jaguar. Nobody in an Aston Martin. Well, mind you, we said that Madalinsky's in an Aston Martin. He was unable to make it tonight, so it'll be interesting to see how the Aston Martin fares up against these. McLaren the clear favourite. As we can see, Electric running off into the distance. He wants to check out before anybody else becomes a threat to him. So we'll concentrate on these three at the moment. Coy's in second. Spunkmeyer still holding well in third. Big Dan hanging on to them as best as he can with those medium tyres. But come race 2, he's going to be in a cracking position with the soft tyres on, providing it doesn't rain. Someone else on the mediums as well. I'm sure it might have been Pat. It was Pat. So these two are going to be in a great position when come to race 2. Electric just running wide a little bit there, pushing it a little bit too hard. He's probably trying to do the best he can to get away from the train coming up behind and led by the chromed McLaren F1 style livery of Coy Car. Spunkmeyer still holding well in third. I was going to say fourth. That's where Big Dan is at the moment. He's still doing well to keep hold of those guys with the mediums. But it'll also depend on how quickly the tyres run out, because he could become a threat at the end of it. And come the end of the race, don't forget, they're going to be on for half an hour. And tyres are starting to show a little bit of wear already. We're only 3 laps in, 5 minutes as well. We've got another 25 minutes to go, so it could be... Oh, and Spunkmeyer's managed to jump Coy, going through all the tyres, and I had no idea of that. So Spunkmeyer showing that the raw pace of the Jaguar is a threat to behold here at Monza, especially at the Festival of Speed. Is it the Festival of Speed? I don't know, I can't remember. There's a nickname for it regarding speed. Oh, it's the Temple of Speed. That's the one I'm looking for. It's been a long day. Been a very long day. So far, they all seem to be calming down now, just settling into the groove. Electric still holding well in second, but I think he may be feeling the pressure coming from Spunkmeyer in that Jaguar. We know it's got the top end, it's got the grunt. Is he going to be able to close that gap between himself and Electric? It does seem to be going down a little bit. So Spunkmeyer in the hunt for the Irishman, who has so far set the fastest lap. Let's not forget Electric has already got 2 points as well from getting pole. So Electric at the moment is in a really good position to take early commanding lead of this championship if it maintains the way it is. So we'll just have to hope and pray that his tyres don't wear out too quickly, and that everybody else will also be having struggles. Coy going purple. He's obviously found some speed, getting some toe behind the Jaguar as well. That's going to be helping him pull away from Big Dan. That's somebody who's dropped it. Electric. Oh no, the praise we were giving him has kicked in, and yep, that's probably me all over again. So Electric, it was going so well, but he was just pushing too hard. Too much of the loud pedal has spun the back end, and that means that Spunkmeyer now leads this race with Koikarp in hot pursuit, and you know he's going to be getting some incredible speed out behind that Jaguar. As you can see, Coy's even got the fastest lap. So Spunkmeyer is going to have a lot of trouble in a moment from Coy. Coy, as we know, is a canny racer. He can definitely be a big threat to anybody. And it would appear that these guys at the moment, they are all evenly matched against one another. You'd think Dan would be a hot one in this, but he's got the handicap at the moment with the mediums. But come race 2, he's going to be out like an absolute rocket. And the rest of the field will have to worry big time. But so far, Spunkmeyer still doing well to hold off Coy, but he is reeling him in little by little. He's just got to hold on and not too much of the loud pedal, not burn too much of his tyres. We can see that the rear left is really starting to feel a little bit of the pain. It'll all be that way. Spunkmeyer is in a better condition. He is looking after those rears. So it could be who could manage the tyres a lot better. Big Dan now starting to lose them a little bit. His medium's still in good nick. So he's got all the grip in the world. He's going to have even better grip come near the end of this race. We've got a long way to go in this feature. Electric, it was all going so well. But again, just too much loud pedal, too much loud noise. And McLaren just did not want to play ball. Pat as well, we haven't seen much of him, not since his little spin was doing so well. He's got to hope and pray that everybody else's tyres wear out near the end so that his mediums can really start to reel the rest of them in. But like I said, we've still got another 20 minutes to go and anything could happen. Back at the front though, we can see Coy's having a look on the inside. He just can't quite make the move stick, so he's having to back off a little bit, give Spunkmeyer the space so he don't take himself out. But these two are going to end up having a right scrap between themselves. We'll stick with them. And can Spunkmeyer handle the pressure of our resident Coy? It'll certainly be an interesting proving ground as it is. As we go through, Coy's all over the back of him. He's sniffing that octane. Probably sniff what level of octane it is as well. Things I love. Oh, Spunkmeyer gone wide, but he didn't pay for it. But I'm not sure if Coy backed off. I don't know what quite happened. I just turned away for a microsecond and we missed it all. As we can see, Coy is just right up at the jack's end of Spunkmeyer. So is Spunkmeyer going to be able to absorb all this pressure being put on him by Coy? Oh, it looks like Coy went a little bit too deep there. He's paid it price, but is he going to come back with a lightning launch out of the corner? He certainly is. As we come down to the final corner, Coy got an absolute launch and a half and is now taking the lead of this race, but he's still on the outside. No, I thought he was going to cut in front of him then, but no, he did not. But has managed to make the move stick with another lead change. Now Coy leads us through the final corner to start lap 7, and so far it's all looking cushy at the front. It looks like it's going to be a straight-on scrap between these two, providing nothing else happens. And I'm touching my floor in case that happens. And here comes the Jaguar with the raw pace of it. It cannot be matched as Spunkmeyer goes onto the inside and then leaving themselves plenty of room. Great racing. Oh, Big Dan coming sliding through his I think that was his drifting what's the word that we're looking for? Drifting credentials, is it? Well, we know that going sideways is in his natural instincts, so maybe they kicked in for a little second as well. Oh, that's Coy gone wide. Coy has gone wide, so that means he's now lost Spunkmeyer, and now Big Dan's having a look. We thought Big Dan had just been taking himself out of contention for a second place, but it's just been gifted back to him by Coy. So it looks like the hot favourite in McLaren. Oh, Coy's still struggling. Is it that rear tyre? Is it that rear left just refusing to cooperate anymore? But it looks like Spunkmeyer is getting a little bit comfortable. So I mean, he's down by 4 seconds. So something must have gone on between himself and Coy to be 4 seconds down, because the Big Dan's now caught him back up despite him going sideways through the first chicane. He's managed to catch them up. So something has clearly gone wrong between the three of them. We haven't caught. Big Dan launches on the inside, but he's just gone too deep. He couldn't quite get the car turned, and Coy doing the old switcheroo on him has paid out dividends. So Big Dan having to drop back a little bit more. But is he going to be in striking range of Spunkmeyer's? We're coming down to the first corner. Gaps are pretty much even between the three of them. I don't think Big Dan's going to be able to do another big move like that. But so far, it's turning out to be an absolute cracking race. And Spunkmeyer's gone wide. He caught the curb. He couldn't quite control it and goes into the kitty litter. Perhaps he's building sandcastles, maybe. Who knows? So now Electric's taking advantage of it. Even his tyres are starting to feel the worst for wear. In fact, he's got the fastest lap back of a 1:49.8. Actually, come to think of it, I don't think they're going to have the fuel to go the full distance, so maybe that's going to be different then. Maybe that's what he means by use softs and mediums. You have to use both compounds in race 1 and race 2. Perhaps. I mean, I'm just a bit of a blithering idiot, so I'm not 100% sure on the tyre rules. But that would be my guess, because the fuel's not going to last. The tyres are definitely not going to last. These tyres won't last another 15 minutes. I mean, the mediums might. In fact, I think the mediums could. But his fuel is definitely not. And Spunkmeyer's the worst out of all of them. He's under a quarter of a tank. So I guess we'll see when it comes to the first round of pit stops. With all these mistakes going on, Pat is slowly catching them up. So with all these tiny little mistakes, they're going to invite everybody else back into it again. And Big Dan is the first to pit, so I guess we're going to find out what will really happen. Spunkmeyer's coming in as well. So we know Dan was on the mediums and Spunkmeyer was on the soft. So if they're going to do the switcheroo and Dan goes on the softs and Spunkmeyer onto the mediums, well, no, I've got that right. But so far, Pat is also pulled in as well. So we know Big Dan's going to be the first one to leave. I don't know how much fuel. He probably will fill it right up. That would be my guess. Oh no, he's just short. So we'll find out in a minute. Yep, there we go. So Dan's gone onto the softs. So Spunkmeyer should go onto the mediums, which he has. So then Pat will go onto the softs as well, which he has. Right. So I am getting this right. I am getting this right. Now. Oh, that's Electric going wide in the back. He doesn't want to be doing that. Not in this crucial stage, and neither does Coy. That tyre at the back. Oh, we see Electric at the back really struggling with those tyres. They really are coming into the end of their life. But in this crucial stage, Coy's just got to keep himself maintained and poised like a koi. But he can't afford to lose any time at the moment, because Big Dan's going to be coming at him like an absolute rocket with those new softs. And who's going to get the drop on anybody? Even Pat's managed to claw himself back. In fact, to be fair, I don't think Pat's going to get Coy. He's hugging the inside, so you know he's going to pit, which he does. So he'll have to go on to the softs. Onto the medium, should I say. Electric is now pitting. He'll also have to go on to the mediums. So now it's all down to Big Dan. Has his outlap done enough to get himself into the lead of this race? Coy was the first one in. The fuel's just starting to go in now. Big Dan's coming round the final corner. I think it's going to be tight. Still in his box. Big Dan crosses the line. Pat's coming out. They're going to probably meet each other on track. Watch out for Coy in the front. Oh, they've just done it. Electric's just managed to hang on, but they're going to take another. Oh, he had to take avoiding action there. Crime almighty, that was absolutely close, and I bet Big Dan had many poos come out at that point from that. But no heart, well, however you want to call that, I do not know. But Electric has managed to jump Big Dan. Coy has managed to keep the lead so far. So Big Dan couldn't get the outlap that he needed to get ahead of the three of them. You can see they're all squiggling at the back. There's still, no, there's Pat. We can all get him in one shot now. But don't forget, Coy is on the mediums as well as Electric. Dan's on the softs. He's the one with the tyre advantage now. It's going to be a case of who is going to keep the bottle more in this crucial stage. Spuntmeyer still doing well in fourth. Had the lead for 1 point, but mistake somewhere just knocked him back down into the field. Pat is slowly clawing his way back. And the Sauce are going to be helping him out no end as well. Maybe hoping and praying that the lack of colouring on his car is probably helping him go faster. I'm going to say you can, Pat, just because. But as we can see at the front, Electric has managed to catch up to Coy. He's going to get an absolutely cracking toe coming down to the first corner. Let's have a look and see. Use the toe. Coy just waiting for the trigger to be pulled. Gaining. He goes to the inside. Pat, Coy holding the middle, but he's not able to slow it down enough. He's having to cut the chicane. Where's Coy in all of it? Whoa! Oh, good Lord. We were nearly going to have a... Can we call it? Call it £1 million? £1 million quid scrap dealers in £1 million GT3 scrap dealers? Nearly. It was nearly a McLaren scrapyard, that's for sure. But so far, despite not being able to get it through, Electric has managed to keep second place. Put a little bit of space between himself and Coy. But he's found the litter again, but not enough for Dan to get through. Dan's all over the back of that McLaren, just waiting for the perfect opportunity to make a move. He's now having a look, but he's going to be on the outside. It's going to be difficult for him unless he's got the overpace. Oh, easy chaps, rubbing his racing, but there's a time and a place for that. And it's called college. But Electric's managed to hold him off. Big Dan's having a look on the inside. Electric really didn't get the exit that he needed. But once again, Electric holding the inside. He knows he's making Big Dan take all the way around, but I think Big Dan's just had enough speed to take second. He's saying he's got second, but he's still on the outside. He's still holding it on the outside, but now Big Dan's got the racing line. As Electric, Electric is down into third. Coy trying to break the toe between himself and Dan. He knows he is going to be an absolute threat and a half, but he's got to watch his mirrors because Electric's having a little go as well. Oh, as we come down to the first corner, is it going to be a repeat of last time? No, it is not. And Electric manages to get his way through. So Electric back up into second with the help of the toe. But, gents, look behind you. There's Spuntmeyer in the Jaguar, who's managed to catch him up from all this scrapping. And to be fair, all this scrapping is giving Coy a very wonderful breathing space. He just needs to keep it pointing in the right direction and on the black stuff. Coy's going to end up taking the win. With 8 minutes to go as well, it looks like the scrap for the final places of the podium are undecided. It's going to be between Electric, Big Dan and Spuntmeyer. And who's going to have the biggest ghoulies out of all of this? Spuntmeyer right on the bumper of Big Dan, sniffing what octane it is. As Koikap just continues to extend his lead with the three battling behind him. With second and third still yet to be decided. It could be a toss-up between either three of these chaps. They're racing hard, they're racing fast, and you've gotta love it. But you would think that Big Dan's the one with the advantage at the moment because of the softer tyres, but he's got to make them work, and quick, because those softs are going to wear out, and he's going to be a sitting duck near the end of it, whereas the medium runners, they don't have the grip now, but when they balance themselves out, the mediums are going to hold out better. Spunkmeyer come through with the raw pace of the Jaguar. He's not making it work this time. Actually, to be fair, he didn't fuel up much. He fueled up a lot less than the others, so he might have to do, maybe doing a little bit of fuel saving, I don't know. He must have enough to get through the end, surely. Oh, listen to that Jag. You've got to love that monster underneath that bonnet. In fact, yeah, I'm just going to do this. That is the sound of an angry kitty. Just absolutely love it. Big Dan got a little bit too deep there, but not enough for Spunkmeyer to punish him. Come down to the last chicane. It still could be anyone's. Electric holding off well. In fact, he's actually managed to pull out a bit of a gap between himself and Big Dan. A little bit of breathing space is what you need. Is that Dan going on the inside? I think he was too far on the inside, so Spunkmeyer's paid him for it. He's now moved up into third. Now is that raw pace of that Jag. I actually hurt my throat doing that. Excuse me. Oh, God. There we go. Let's see if I can do that again without hurting myself. So, is the outright pace of the Jag going to really make a difference between himself and Electric? He's got a little bit of a gap to make up for, but all of this is just absolutely playing into Coy's hands, who's now got quite a comfortable buffer between himself and Electric. Barring any mistakes from Coy, it looks like he's going to take first blood. Or is Electric going to have something to say about it? They are on the same tyres. So anything could happen. What's that? His license plate? It looks like it's the Nürburgring. Is that the Nürburgring on the back of it? It looks like it's... It looks like it is. I don't know. I can't see it quite well. I should have had a look when I was looking for over the cars, shouldn't I? I don't think it is. It looks like it, though. We'll get a good view here. Oh, I don't know. But so far at the moment, it's the two let's try that again. It's the two chrome McLarens. Try saying that 5 times fast. That seem to be doing the better at the moment. But what will happen in race 2, I wonder? But so far, all going well. Spunkmeyer doing well for his first podium as well. Big Dan is the softs starting to lose their edge, because he's just falling back little by little. Going wide, as you can see, he's pushing that McLaren as hard as he can, but the tyres are just not holding out anymore. So now it's all in the medium's hands, but it looks like it could be Coy stealing first blood. But second is not a guarantee for Electric just yet, because he's been hunted down by the Spunkmeyer in the Jag. It's now McLaren versus Jag. Actually, to be fair, all of them are in McLarens except for Spunkmeyer, who's in the Jag. So it's McLaren versus Jaguar. 4 against 1. I think that's a little bit unfair, personally. Spunkmeyer going for the fastest lap. He's going purples. He's finding pit. He's trying saying speed and pace at the same time. He just went peed. Spunkmeyer finding some... I nearly did it again, you know. finding some speed. There we go. I think the 20p started to run out in my head. So Spunkmeyer going to take the fastest lap away from Electric. That'll be a great bonus point towards his first championship series. Oh, he's dropped back a little bit. And I don't think Electric is gaining on Coy. You see they're all spacing themselves out now. These two are the closest ones together. And I'm not sure the Jag has got the pace. In fact, he's even on fuel with Electric as well, even on tyres. So it's even gains now. It's going to be all down to the drivers. You can see Electric trying to break the toe of the Jag. He knows that that thing will catch up to him in a lightning bolt if given half the chance. So he's got to play the cards right, and so far he's doing okay. Doing really well at that trick, barring a few wibbly moments. Going on wide, he's looking great for a second place at the moment. Spunkmeyer as well. Cracking race to the start of his campaign. He's going faster again. He's definitely hunting that fastest lap. But he's running low on fuel. Mind you, I think to be fair, this will be their last lap anyway. So is Spunkmeyer going to ruin the party for Electric? That's Electric going wide. Is Spunkmeyer going to make him pay for it? I don't think he can. So Electric stays to fight for another day. You can see the gap has decreased between himself and Spunkmeyer. This could be the turning point that Spunkmeyer needs to go one better. He's on the outside though, but he's managed to make it stick. He switches to the inside. Oh, easy, gents, easy does it. But it looks like, yes, Spunkmeyer's managed to keep himself together. He's hogging that inside line because he knows Electric's what Electric is looking for. He has come down. I don't think he got the toe in time, but Electric is saying he is in second, and he has got second. He managed to hold it round the outside, so... Oh, he managed to hold off. Oh, Coy's going to cross the line. Well done, Coy. Congratulations on finishing third. Electric, a scrappy second with Spunkmeyer in third, with Big Dan coming home in fourth. And Pat, what could have been, it was going so well for him. But, oh, a tough day at the races for him. But still race 2 to look forward to. So... Round 1, race 1 goes to Coy, opening up a good start for the championship for him, with Electric scrapping Big Dan, and Spunkmeyer for a good chunk of the race has done well to come home in second. Spunkmeyer in his first series race for VRC coming home in a solid third place. Big Dan, another scrappy one for him. He comes home in fourth. Great battles between himself and Electric and Spunkmeyer, with Pat coming home in fifth. Just, oh, what could have been for him. Just losing the back end, just really on the first chicane, just didn't do him any favours. But never mind, live to fight another day. We'll move on to race 2. So, shall we have a bit of a breather? Just while I load all this up. What? Oh, that's why. Oh. And then that's the one. That's the one we want. So, load that up. You know the score. Look away. Don't look. I see you looking. Close your eyes. Stop looking. Stop it. Don't look. Don't look. Even I'm not going to look. There we go. I have no idea what it just said. Even I'm honest. So, for race 2, it's race 1. I think it's the race 1 results reversed. But I thought it was a rolling start. I thought it was a rolling start. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, it says here it's a rolling start. So something's gone wrong there. Oh. Ah, there we go. Stupid headset. Oh well, so it looks like we had a little technical difficulty, but it looks like we're going to have another standing start. So I'm guessing the full start checker is still on. But before we start, let's have a look at the tyres. So Pat is starting off on the medium. Big Dan is going for the softs. Spunkmeyer is on the softs. Electric is on the mediums. And Coy is on the softs. So, bit of a mixed bag between all three of them. Perhaps maybe this switch of strategies will help them out with 5 lights. And off we go. It looks like we all got away cleanly this time as Pat leads us off into, if you ask me, that is the proper chicane of death, not the one at Dragon's Trail. But Spunkmeyer, with the speed of the Jaguar, once again takes the lead as we go into the first corner. It looks like we've all gotten through nice and cleanly, beautifully well done, chaps. So Spunkmeyer once again takes the lead early doors in this race, but is the Jag going to be able to get himself a comfortable distance between himself and the 4 chasing McLarens, led by Pat, who is being hounded by Electric? Is he going to have a look on the inside as we come through? No, they don't. They all stay in formation. We all get through quite cleanly. Electric still having a look at the back end of Pat. He switches in, but changes his mind. Decides that he could fight another day, maybe waiting for the next long straight where he can use the toe to really catapult himself through. Let's have a look to see the move in action. He's not quite sure. As we can see behind him, Coy's going to have a look on the inside. He doesn't pull the trigger though, he backs off a little bit. Ooh, easy does it. Easy, there we go. Is he going to get a launch off Pat? Yes, he does. Pat didn't get a very good exit. And there's Electric going through into second and in his hunt for the Jaguar. Meanwhile, further back here, Big Dan still holding well in fourth. Seems to be his natural territory at the moment. Always seems to be stuck in the fourth. Coy, as we know, the winner of race 1, maybe just biding his time, waiting for the correct moment so that he can pounce on his prey. But Spunkmeyer wishing to disappear into the distance. The power of that Jag is definitely going to be helping him out no end. You see, he's got a comfortable gap between himself and Electric, who is still being hounded. There's Big Dan having a look on the inside of Pat. But as we go back, Pat is still able to hold off, and Coy's trying to look away between both of them, trying to find his way into it. But I would say it's a McLaren sandwich. It's a full McLaren sandwich, bread and meat, with 10% protein too. 10 grams of protein, that's probably a bit better. Not quite sure where the protein will come from though. McLaren's got plenty of meat on it, I guess. They'll be in there somewhere. But Big Dan coming out on top out of those three. Those three fighting is letting Spunkmeyer and Electric disappear into the distance. But Pat's sinking through to the back. And although, to be fair, Pat is on the medium, so he will be struggling. Whereas the guys in front of him are on softs, barring Electric, who is on the mediums. I think he started off with the softs last time, so switch of strategy may throw his competitors off, maybe wanting the additional speed come near the end, while he's in a hunt for a Jaguar. Big Dan holding well in fourth. Coy all over the back of him. He's managed to maintain a gap so far. Coy's going to have an absolutely stormer of an exit. As you can see, he's already up the back of him. Decided not, he doesn't want to help Big Dan catch up Electric, so pulls to the inside of Big Dan as we come up to the first chicane. And easy as that, and as clean as you like as well. Without a shower either. Oh, Big Dan's a little bit squiggly, trying to get out of the corner, trying to get the power down. It just didn't want to agree with him. So Coy doing absolutely incredibly well in this first round. They've absolutely left Pat behind, so maybe Pat having a little bit of a wiggle somewhere. But it would appear that the McLaren doesn't really agree with him, or he doesn't agree with the McLaren. Might be could be a lack of things, really. Who knows? We never know these things here at VRC. We never do. So far, Spunkmeyer doing really well, using the full power of that Jag to his advantage at the top end speed, really pulling away from the McLarens. The Irishman Electric in hot pursuit, but he just doesn't have an answer for Spunkmeyer at the moment. But as we've seen, everybody's all been making mistakes. It could still all play into his hands. Coy as well in third, doing well. But he's being hunted down by Big Dan. And oh no. Headset keeps disconnecting. It's got plenty of power, so I don't know what's up with it. So far, they're all leaving Pat for dead, unfortunately. So Pat having to play the patch-up game again. So well, so far, going on for Spunkmeyer. He's also got the fastest lap. I think that was quicker than the previous round as well. So that Jaguar, in all the clean air, is able to do absolutely wonders for Spunkmeyer. Electric still hunting him in second. Let's not, yeah, he is on the mediums, so he will be a little bit of a disadvantage to Spunkmeyer, but those tyres will last longer. Let's not. Oh yeah, there's that rule as well, that they have to stay on the tyres for a minimum of 10 minutes. But as we've seen, they've all been going around about halfway on each tyre, and we've been seeing the softs have been lasting around about 15 minutes here. And Monza isn't normally a heavy tyre wearing track, so my guess is that the tyre deg is quite high. Let's have a look. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, it says to be confirmed, so my guess is he in the side. I wonder if it's in there. Is it in there? It is not in there. Who knows? Tyre deg is a mystery. As we can see further in the back, Big Dan's having a look at Coy now. There's no tyre advantage, so it's all down to the driver. Big Dan not pulling the trigger, maybe feeling like it's not the right time. To be fair, he's going to be saving a bit of fuel, but that's Coy on to the kitty litter. Big Dan looking round the outside. Says he's in third. He must be by a whisker. They're going to go side by side, going through the second chicane, and Big Dan backs off, decides better of it, decides to let Coy through. He did have the racing line, so maybe felt that the gamble wasn't worth it. There's Pat in the background, trying his best to catch these two up. As you can see, a lot of them making just tiny little mistakes here and there. Sometimes they get away with it, sometimes they don't. so far it's all been easy going for Spunkmeyer. This is the day he opens up his victory account. Electric in second. He's had plenty of wins. He's had quite a few wins in VRC over the years. I couldn't tell you how many. That's this man's job, so I couldn't tell you. I do have it somewhere buried in my phone, but by the time I've probably found it, the race will finish, so I'm not going to go look. But so far, Electric doing well in second. Coy as well. He's got a fair few wins in under his belt. With another one to add to his collection in race one. Big Dan, he's had plenty of wins, and he's got quite a few championships in his name now. Not bad for a controller driver, huh? So I've said it before and I've said it again. I definitely couldn't get the pace out of a controller like he can. Next level, if you ask me. How many Dan's won now? There we go. Wow, he's won 5? Good lord. He's got 5 series to his name. Since winning the MX-5, Big Dan has been an absolute animal. And definitely one to beat. As you can see, the gap now between Spunkmeyer and Electric looking very comfortable. And look who's coming up behind Electric. It's Coy. He's found some whopping speed now and is now in the hunt for the Irishman. He's managed to drop Big Dan. Maybe he's had a bit of a mare somewhere. Coy now free of Big Dan, just to go hunting for Electric once again. It's going to be race one all over again, but it's going to be for second this time. In 10 minutes, so I don't think anybody's pitting. There isn't. Electric is. So he's wanting rid of those mediums early doors, and so is Big Dan. Wants rid of those softs early doors. There's a fair bit of meat left on it, but after 10 minutes, they're actually quite warm. So if Electric is going to go on to the softs, he's got a long way to carry them. You see round about... Yeah, Spunkmeyers are warm, but still okay-ish. Same with Coy. Pat's on the medium, so he'll be completely fine. So Electric's going out the softs. He's got to take them all for a good 20 minutes. And Big Dan on the mediums. He'll have plenty of meat all the way to the end on those tyres, but is it going to be a case of Electric has pulled the trigger a little bit too early? Maybe he thinks he can get some form of undercut against Spunkmeyer. It'll be one hell of a task, but he might be able to do it. But Spunkmeyer is answering the challenge. He's currently going purples as well, so still got plenty of pace out of those new softs. Queen of fresh air as well. He'll be enjoying this. I wonder if he's going to pull the trigger early. I'd say it's a little bit too early to pull in with the softs. Or it might be a good time, to be fair, but Spunkmeyer not reacting to it. Neither does Coy. If Pat's going to pit now, because he'll be feeling the threat, even though he's a little bit behind. He may feel that he could probably do better on the mediums. Let's have a check with these two. Electric, there is a bit of a gap between himself and Dan. So they've all got themselves some nice space at the moment. It's all going to be a case of when Spunkmeyer, Coy and Pat all decide to pit, and whether the undercut has worked in Electric and Big Dan's favour. But so far, Spunkmeyer absolutely loving life at the moment. Coy, race 1 winner. Doing well to hold himself well in second. I don't think he's got the tyres to try and chase down Spunkmeyer, but he'll be wary of that gap between himself, Big Dan and Electric. That'll be playing on his mind, so he doesn't want to be out on those new softs for much longer. Pat, we think he's going to be well out of contention, but he won't need as much fuel. And he is going to be on the soft, so he's going to be quick. But you know, these two are going to be quick as well, especially Electric on the softs and Dan on the mediums. He is starting to lose Electric. It's just going to be enough of whether he's got enough pace advantage with the fresher tyres compared to the the other three who had yet to pit. And Spunkmeyer still doesn't pit. He still thinks he can go quite long on those tyres. Coy's hugging the inside, so he's definitely going to pit. He certainly does. Is Pat going to react to this? I don't think he is. Staying on the outside. So now, has Coy managed to pull a big enough gap between himself to get ahead of Electric in the pits? The fuel is going in. He hasn't even exited the corner yet. Coy's probably not going to need much fuel. Still filling up. Oh no, that's a release. Has he beaten him to it? I don't think he has. Electric has managed to make the undercut work, but now he's going to be the one with a disadvantage because he's got 2 lap older tyres than Coy, but he is going to be on the mediums. So it's going to be a case of, is Coy going to make the advantage stick with him? Not far ahead of Big Dan either, so still all to play for. Spunkmeyer in a postcode of his own. Surely he must pit this lap. But he's getting some cracking pace out of that Jag. Got another fastest lap as well. So far he's absolutely enjoying this. My guess is he is going to pit this lap. But he is not. So he's going to have another lap on the softs. But to be fair, he's still lapping in the 150s, so why not? If he's happy with the pace, why not? But don't forget, they've got to be on each set of tyres for a minimum of 10 minutes. So he's still got 3 minutes. That's Pat hugging the inside. So, yep, he's definitely coming in to change the softs. And you would expect that he'll be at the back of the grid because Electric's coming through now. I think Big Dan will get him as well. Oh, yeah, I think easily because, yep, the tyres are only just going on. The fuel's still to go in. So it looks like Pat is going to drop to the back. Electric's managed to pull quite a decent gap between himself and Coy. So the soft tyres playing in their own at the moment, but Coy's playing the long game because he's got the mediums on. They'll last a hell of a lot longer. It'll be a case of, can Electric hold on to those tyres long enough to keep hold of yet another second place. Coy in a cracking third. I tell you what, that championship table is going to look interesting after this. Not quite sure. Yeah, Spunkmeyer's definitely got a pit by this lap because his fuel is flashing. And I don't think he definitely won't get around quickly enough to get the 10-minute minimum for the mediums. Yeah, you can see he's hugging the inside of it now. So, yep, he's definitely coming in. But the question is, has he done a big enough gap to keep himself ahead of Electric? Quite a bit of fuel's got to go in. So he's going to be filling up for a fair while. Tyres are just going on. Electric, not even in the final corner yet. He is now. Brakes are hard on. The fuel's still going in. Oh, Electric's just going wide. He's pushing far too hard. He knows, but it looks like Spunkmeyer's managed to beat him out. There we go. Yep. More than enough. More than enough. So, Spunkmeyer now. It's all his to lose. Just needs to keep it pointing in the right direction on the black stuff. And his account will be up and running. Electric in second. It looks like it could be another second for the Irishman. But I have to think who is going to be leading the championship by the end of this. Who got the fastest lap in race 1? Was it Electric? I don't remember. I can't remember who got the fastest lap in race 1. I think it might have been Electric. So Coy won, that'll be 20 points. Electric was second, that's 17. He had pole, so that's 90, so that's 20 points. He'll get 17 here, that'll take him up to 37. Spunkmeyer, he was in third? I'm sure it was third. So that'll be 15, 35, 36. If he manages to maintain the fastest lap. So that'll be 36. 15, 30... No, 17, isn't it? 17, 34, 30. So Electric, I think, could be leading by 1 point by the end of this. With Coy in third. I think that's my guess. Anyway, as it stands... So Electric has been getting the extra points over time with the pole and the fastest lap, really helping him out. In fact, he's actually catching Spunkmeyer, but those softs have seen better days. And unfortunately, Spunkmeyer's got tyres for days. So you would expect he will disappear into the distance. The question is Coy going to be able to catch him up when his tyres end up deserving the bin? You can see his tyres are fairly worn already, and he's still got another 8 minutes to go. Could be anyone's guess. Well, could be anyone's guess, really. But it's not been... I have to say, we've only got 5 races. We've not been short on action, we will say. We've had plenty of it. At the moment, they're all just all in the chill spot now. No point pushing hard. No point taking unnecessary risks. Especially Spunkmeyer at the moment. It's looking great for him. His first win and fastest lap. In fact, yeah, double podium. Can't complain that with your first ever series race. Not at all. Still doing the 150s even with the mediums on. So he's in quite a comfortable place. Electric, you've got to feel. Just got to feel that something isn't going to quite work out at the end for him, because those tyres are going to be feeling the pain very shortly. I don't think Coy is going to be catching up. Let's have a look. He did a 50.8. There's not much between Coy and Electric time-wise. He is managing to maintain a pace, but it's all a case of, will that come to naught? the tyres run out. We'll have to check on the previous, check on the next time they cross the line, and check out their times. Big Dan's still going in fourth. He's really been struggling with that McLaren, really. Maybe he's just not a happy bunny with the McLaren, I don't know, but it's not been the best result for him. It's still fourth. There's still going to be plenty of points for him, but maybe the McLaren doesn't agree with him. Who knows? Or he doesn't agree with McLaren. Or the McLaren doesn't agree with the McLaren. There's no telling. Pat as well. We've not seen much of him. He's been struggling a little bit at the back. Maybe his mind's elsewhere. Not thinking he got the paint done in time. But I can guarantee that will look completely different next week. It'll look like the finished piece of art that we know Pat does when it comes to a livery. But so far, race 2 is all about been this man, Spunkmeyer. He only joined us this week in VRC, hailing from I'm sure one of them will tell me it's either the DTCC or the DACC. I don't remember. It's one of those, because I know they have a championship of DTCC, and there's a server with DACC, so I don't know which one it is. So after all, I was just calling it DTCC, but regardless, Spunkmeyer representing them quite well. We've got a 2.5 hour coming up on Friday as well. That will be, what are we on? Friday the 26th. A few people in YouTube land, because no telling when you'll be watching this again, or when you watch this. So 2.5 hour is tomorrow for us watching now, or for you people watching in the year 2649, it was then June 26th. That's when it will be. 2.5 hours at Le Mans. Oh, can't wait for that one. That's what I was going to say. Yeah, and Spunkmeyer as well got pole for the GT3s, his first outing. Cracking start. It looks like he's now going to get a series win to add on to that. Electric as well, if he did get fastest lap in the first race, then he's going to be top of the championship at this rate. I mean, great news for him. And Coy, race 1 winner, was unable to take advantage of the tyre deficit between himself and Electric. It looks like he's going to, barring any tiny little mistakes, he's going to come in home in third. As the sun sets here at Monza, so we're getting a little bit of a mist coming over as well. Somebody obviously starting the bonfire or starting the barbecues early. Getting quite misty out there. But there's enough light left for us to see all the goings on. It looks like these two are the closest on track at the moment. But I don't think there's going to be much change between them. So I think this is how it's going to end. But then again, I think we're probably going to get one more lap, including this one. Just No, the Spunkmeyer's fuel is flashing, Electric's isn't. So Spunkmeyer got to do a little bit of fuel saving, or has he got enough fuel on board? Did see he did short fuel by a quite amount. And from what I can tell, that Jaguar is thirsty, and Electric is flashing as well. Ooh, careful, Electric! Don't be pushing too hard. You don't want to be losing that second place. He's got plenty of fuel on board, so he's fine for the rest of the race. So is Big Dan and Pat. So it's just the top two that are short on fuel. As I believe that Jaguar is very, very thirsty. So I wonder if Spunkmeyer is going to have enough fuel to do one more lap, or is it going to? Or is this going to be the final lap? There's 20 seconds left. I think the time will run out just before he gets to the line. And if that is the case, Spunkmeyer has timed his fuel to perfection. I definitely think he has, because there's the half an hour. The checkered flag comes out, and that's Spunkmeyer taking his first ever win. Congratulations, mate. Electric coming home in second again, but still a cracking result for Electric. Koikart a switch from first to third. Spunkmeyer swapped to first. Oh, it's balanced. Koikart finishes third. Big Dan coming home, his natural habitat of fourth, and then Pat finishing in fifth. Wet the old noisemaker myself. So, Spunkmeyer, congratulations, sir, on your first VRC win. Is this going to be a sign of things to come for the Spunkmeyer? I wonder if we're going to see a change in the guard at the top. Only time will tell, but I do hope he sticks around and show us what he is capable of. Electric in second once again. He got second in race one. He's got second in race two, but I do believe he's going to take the lead of the championship. If I'll have a look now. I don't think it has been done, but I will soon check. Is it that? No. Is that it? Nope. So, no. Table hasn't been made yet. But, to be fair, this was 24 hours ago, so yeah. But I think Electric will be top of the championship from his pole, possibly fastest lap, and his 2 second places. Coy coming home in third. He got the race win in race one, and then a third in race two. So he's definitely going to be scrapping it out for the top spot in the championship. Big Dan, it's a double fourth place for him. Not the start he'll have been looking for. Not quite sure if it's the McLaren. Might not be comfortable with it. There may be no telling, but don't count Big Dan out just yet. He will come back when you least expect it, because after all, he's sort of like the Spanish Inquisition. Nobody expects it. And well, it's that. That'll do. And Pat, it's not been a good race for him. The spin in race one when he was doing so well, and then race two, it just didn't seem all that comfortable. But fifth place, that's still going to be plenty of points for him, especially with people missing. So he's going to be in a good spot for the championship at the start. I wonder if they were going to see anything from the Statman Pat. But yes, we've got a better view. Oh, that'll do. So there we are, folks. Round one of the British GT3 series. I do hope you enjoyed this one. It's been a bit of a quiet one, with some people unfortunately unable to make it, but that is life. It gets in the way, doesn't it all? Maybe next week we will see a few more faces turn up. We could have a proper good scrapping championship. But We do certainly hope that despite the lack of numbers, it naturally made your morning during your early coffees. And if you did enjoy this race, don't forget to do the usual YouTubey thing of liking, subscribing, and then sharing it with all your friends. You know that jizz. I get sick of saying that. But you know that routine. And what else is that? Oh, yes. If you wish to join us here at the Virtual Racers Club, we have a Discord. If you log into your Discord, do a search for us, Virtual Racers Club, you will find us, one where you'll find all 5 of these guys, as well as many others, including myself, unfortunately, so you can't get away from me that easily. But if you want to come out on track and join us, then simply sign up, get yourself a race number, and then just join us on track and have some fun. We are here for the lols, but we are here for the racing as well, if you are interested. And I think that's about it. So let's wrap it up, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much for tuning in. I have been your broadcaster and commentator, insert comical name here. And I will see you, I was going to say next week, but it will be tomorrow, on the Friday, for the Le Mans 2.5 hour. Tune into that. It's going to be an absolute cracker. And you'll have to listen to me for 2.5 hours. Aren't you lucky? So with that, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.